Welcome back again to the Dojo of Gain. And now we have a treat today. We have a living legend, Ice Cube. Now I didn't even know this video existed. It just showed up on my wall. So I'm going to check this out. Might as well react to it at the same time. Why not? It's Ice Cube giving his opinion on Transformers. Let's see what exactly he has to say, considering he is such a figure that's in the middle of the media, in the middle of the spotlight. Will he have a cookie cutter basic opinion, or will he say something that may be considered offensive to other people? This is always interesting when it comes to famous people, because a lot of famous people are actually very scared of giving their own opinions. And it makes sense because they make their money from the media, so they have to protect a specific image. Let's see what exactly Ice Cube has to say in his interview with Tucker Carlson.
I think that it's harder to be a man in America now than it was when you were a kid?
Yes. Saying what you feel, being yourself, is what they call toxic. You know, we shouldn't be called toxic for our instincts and for, I was born this way. What are you talking about? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Why can't we be ourselves? We were born this way too.
So there are some groups, like if I say I'm trans, then people say, that's great, you were born that way, we affirm you. But if you say I'm just a dude with male instincts, you're not affirmed, you're attacked.
Yeah, I mean, everybody doesn't really have to affirm you, you know? If I wake up and say, I feel like a pigeon, and I want everybody to treat me like a pigeon. Some people may say, whatever, Q, we treat you like a pigeon.
All right, before we go into his opinion that he's getting into on the trans ideology, I wanted to cover the thing that he said about masculinity being toxic. Now, I believe, from my point of view, that this stems from basically people being intimidated by power. So, since men are the stronger gender, the stronger sex, they are now being considered toxic. Just like models, they now have plus-size models because they feel like a model who kills herself to have a specific physique is unattainable for the majority of people. So they feel intimidated, and now they want plus-size models. The music industry is taken over by mediocre singers. For example, Taylor Swift won Person of the Year. Now, Person of the Year should be somebody who's inventing things, somebody who's a philanthropist, somebody who's making a change in the world, not a mediocre singer. I'm sorry if you're a Taylor Swift fan, but she is neither a good singer nor a bad singer. She's right in the middle. She has some catchy songs, yes, but she's mediocre. She would not be able to compete with Freddie Mercury or Whitney Houston, for example. There's no way she could even hold a candle to those people. Those people are good singers, and Taylor Swift is mediocre. This is what's been going on all throughout the media lately, is that mediocrity and failure are being celebrated. So, like celebrating obesity. Obesity is just failure to take care of your body. There's plenty of other things I can get into, but it's basically people trying to avoid feeling intimidated. People feel triggered by being intimidated, and I believe it's stemming from a culture of escapism, so that if people don't see people that intimidate them, they can continue to live their mediocre or even less than mediocre lifestyle and not feel bad about it. I mean, it is what it is, you know? Let's see I see that he's getting into the transgender thing, though, and we'll see what he has to say. It looks like he's not being politically
Well, some people
correct.
may choose to be like, dude, no. That's your world.
Yeah.
I'm not part of it. And I have to be ready for that. It's a big world out here. Everybody doesn't have to adhere to me.
That's called narcissism, right?
Yeah, it seems like it. Yeah. Seems like you're trying to bend the universe to your will. And it don't work like that.
We've been talking almost all day now. You haven't mentioned race a single time. You've mentioned economics, rich and poor, a number of times. Do you think that we overplay the role of racial conflict in American life?
Yes. I think race, it takes up too much space.
Okay. Looks like they're already switching off to a different topic. I mean, they might, or most likely will expand upon it throughout the video because that is the title of the video and it's 8 minutes long. But I agree exactly with what he's saying. Obviously, if you've seen any of my other videos, yeah, narcissism or delusion, just trying to bend reality to fit into a version of reality that makes you feel more comfortable because you're not willing to accept what's real. Unfortunately, or fortunately, however you want to look at it, identifying as something that isn't what is real doesn't manifest into reality. It's not, you're never going to be able to change your reality beyond certain factors, right? Like something that is biologically connected to your body or is your biological makeup. That's a better way to say it. You cannot change your biological makeup to completion. You cannot change the structure of your brain to completion, the different parts of your brain, right? Even the way your neurons communicate with each other, you cannot change that, and that is different between men and females. This is something you're born with. So it's basically just people affirming delusion, and even it's come to a point now that when you're honest with someone and you tell them the truth about things, it's not even just that, it's a lot of different things. It's considered hate speech, it's considered bigotry, it's considered being mean. But since the beginning of time, telling the truth to people has always been looking out for the person, being loving towards the person, wanting the best for the person, and deceiving somebody has always been evil. It has always been bringing people down the wrong path. And it'll always be that way no matter how the media tries to paint it or no matter how people try to paint it. Live your happiness, talking about things that also don't even exist. They're conflating happiness with dopamine spikes instead of conflating happiness with achieving goals or establishing your life. I mean, happiness and dopamine spikes are not one and the same. Happiness is, if you're talking about dopamine spikes, you'll never have that state for a constant time. You only have so much dopamine per day. Basically, when you're looking for happiness, what you're looking for is to achieve a comfortable lifestyle, or at least achieve the lifestyle that is closest to ideal that you want, to chase your goals and to enjoy the process of doing so. That is the closest that you can ever get to happiness, not chasing imaginary personalities that you aren't, or doing drugs, or becoming obese, or having thousands of sexual partners, or you name it, all the things that people want to say that are going to make you happy nowadays. Those things don't make you happy. These people don't even understand what happiness is. They don't get it. Dopamine is not happiness. Dopamine is just a temporary state. Plus, dopamine can even be manipulated. You can train your brain to release dopamine when you do something you hate, like math problems or something. If you want to just do math and then do something you enjoy afterward, and only do that thing you enjoy afterward when you're doing math, and over a period of time you're going to create neural connections that connect that activity to math, and then in the future math will become somewhat enjoyable. Are you going to love it? Probably not, but you'll still get a bit of dopamine while doing it. You can manipulate it. It's basically just a neurotransmitter. It's not happiness.
There's people.
¿Qué dices? ¿Qué dices? ¿Trapos? No. 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 Los terminé.
that we all have in our lives who are same race that we can't stand. And there's people in our lives from other races that we get along with way better. So it's not about race. It's not about color and gender and this and that. It's about who do you connect with? You know, who do you vibrate with? You know what I mean? Who's on the same wavelength? Who wants to be the same kind of person? Who wants to do the right thing when you want to do the right thing? That's who you connect with. So I think a lot of people make a lot of money off of the racists fighting against each other and bickering. And they the ones who push it in our face all the time that we're separate. And
does feel like there's more of that, doesn't there?
Yeah, it seems like it's like you're stuck in a bad movie and you can't get out. Like you can't find the exit and it continues to play on the screen and you're just running around looking for the exit and this bad movie continues to just haunt you day by day by day by day. You know, that's what we're caught in. A never-ending, winless battle of, you know, of race and color, and we're worried about, you know, where you from, and, you know, hip-hop, what's great about hip-hop, like, it was a saying in hip-hop, early hip-hop, I think Rakim coined this phrase, you know, it ain't where you from, it's where you at, you know, and it's so true. It's not about where you come from, it's about where you at right now.
I'm not imagining that this stuff is being pushed on us, right?
No.
Much more than in, say, 1986.
Yes, I think so. Because in 1986, you had movies and television, and it was all scripted, and we knew this is a scripted show. But I think now you have so many so-called reality shows that basically push the same thing, but in a reality-like setting. So, you know, you'll watch a movie on race, okay? And you flip the channel now, you're watching a somewhat like documentary reality show that's highlighting and magnifying race and status and where you belong in this country and where you don't. And, you know, we're highlighting the bad guys here. We're highlighting the good guys, you know. It's always really showing controversy and pitting each other against each other. And with the reality shows, you know, controversy sells. So they're not showing people getting along. What they want to get to is the fight, the conflict, you know, the argument, the throwing of the bottles, the, you know, the turmoil, the differences. And, you know.
Does that bear any resemblance to your actual life as someone who lives in this country?
Yeah, I agree 100% with what Ice Cube is saying. It's obvious race is nothing but something that's skin deep. It doesn't have to do, it's not that important. What is important is the character of the person, of course. I think the only time that race is even important at all is when you're sharing with people that you're close with. For example, if you're from one place, friends from another place, you guys can share with each other, be like, oh, say for example, I'm Puerto Rican, oh, in Puerto Rico, we eat mofongo, arroz con gandule. What do you guys eat? What music do you guys listen to? We listen to this type of music, and you guys can share, you guys can learn each other's music, dances, learn about each other, and share, and actually become closer in that way. So I think it's fun to be able to learn about each other's differences and share people you care about. But beyond that, there's going to be crappy people and people of good character of all races, in all countries, of all political backgrounds, that's has very little to do with what a person is, and the US tries to make it super important. They even include what race you identify as on your job application. People from other countries, they don't know that, but yeah, that's part of the job application process. They're going to ask you what race you identify with. It's kind of ridiculous how much this country conflates race and makes it into a big issue that it really isn't. There's a lot of crazy stuff going on. I guess basically, I don't know, probably the people who are in college age who have it really easy, their parents are paying for them, they're living in the dorm, they don't have work, they have plenty of extra time on their hands, they have time to victimize themselves and make problems where they're not, because when you're taking it easy, putting problems in your life kind of makes your life a little bit more interesting. So a lot of these problems, if you do the research, they're coming from college age people. Kind of takes away their merit a bit, in my opinion, but the media likes to run with them. When you meet people on the street, it doesn't really reflect as much as what the media is saying. You don't really meet that many racist people on the streets, or even trans people, or any of these people. You don't really meet them that much on the street. I see these type of people that follow these ideologies when I go to university, because I'm an older student, I'm in university, so I can see it there. They'll probably snap out of it when they get out of university anyways. It's part of the process of becoming an adult. Your brain isn't fully developed until you're 25 anyways. So yeah, kids who are university age or young adults, they can have a lot of knowledge, but they don't have wisdom. Wisdom comes with age. It's just part of the process. Can't really fault them for it. I'm going to leave it there. Ice Cube, major based. Not surprised though, he's a G.